Mortal Kombat, Annihilation, the guilty pleasure on trial today. Prepare for a cinematic execution. Scroll through as we put one of gaming's most notorious film adaptations on trial. The evidence is damning, the witnesses are traumatized, and justice must be served. Will this legendary disaster be sentenced to eternal shame?
Exhibit A, CGI that would make early PlayStation graphics blush. Animated abominations, special effects that look like they were rendered on a calculator, with creatures that appear half-finished and environments that scream, "We ran out of budget." Laughable landscapes, otherworldly realms that somehow look less believable than the original game's 2D backgrounds from 1992. Even by 1997 standards, these effects were criminal.
Exhibit B, acting so wooden you could build furniture with it. Dialogue disasters, lines delivered with all the emotion of someone reading a phone book. Even simple phrases like, "I am Shao Kahn, Emperor of Outworld," somehow become unintentionally hilarious. Emotional emptiness. Characters facing the apocalypse with the concern of someone who misplaced their car keys. Not a single convincing emotion appears in the entire 95-minute runtime. Exhibit C, a plot with more holes than Swiss cheese. Nonsensical narrative. A storyline that introduces new rules, powers, and characters without explanation, then forgets about them minutes later. Characters teleport not just in the story, but through plot logic. Realm confusion. Locations change with no transition or logic. 1 minute they're in Outworld, the next Earth, the next some random cave that might be important. It's not. The 6-day deadline. The entire world will merge with Outworld in 6 days, yet characters take leisurely side quests and never seem concerned about the ticking clock. Witness testimony, the catastrophic recasting disaster. Johnny Cage, killed off in the first 3 minutes, likely because the actor from the first film was unavailable. The character gets unceremoniously neck-snapped after being a main hero in the original. Sonya Blade, recast with an actress who seems perpetually confused about what movie she's in. Gone is the tough special forces officer, replaced with someone who mostly screams. Raiden, from wise, enigmatic god to bewildered man with a bad dye job and worse delivery. The recasting stripped away all the gravitas and wisdom of the character. Evidence, fight sequences that defy physics and entertainment. Slow-motion abuse. Every jump, kick, and punch gets the slow-mo treatment, not to enhance the action, but to mask the poor choreography and extend the runtime. Epileptic editing. Rapid cuts that make it impossible to follow the action. The average fight scene contains more edits than actual connected punches. Animatronic animations. Fighters move with all the fluidity of department store mannequins. The game's signature moves become awkward pantomimes devoid of impact. The prosecution, how it betrayed the original film. The first film balanced camp with seriousness. Annihilation went full cartoon, abandoning the gritty tournament structure for a generic save-the-world plot with no stakes. Character assassination. Characters who developed meaningful arcs in the first film become one-dimensional caricatures, spouting catchphrases instead of dialogue. Lore butchering. The rich mythology established in both the games and first film gets trampled under a parade of poorly introduced characters with no purpose. The defense. It's so bad, it's actually just bad. Attempted defense arguments. They had a smaller budget than the first film, yet somehow managed to waste it more spectacularly. It's faithful to the game's expanding roster by introducing characters for 30 seconds before forgetting them.
It has camp value, but camp requires self-awareness, which this film utterly lacks. At least they tried. Did they, though? Did they really? Jury deliberation. Why it became a cult classic anyway. Nostalgia factor. For 90s kids who played the games, even this terrible adaptation holds a special place in memory, like a childhood toy that was actually awful but you loved anyway. Quotable disasters. Mother, you're alive! Too bad you will die! Lines so badly written and performed, they've achieved immortality in meme culture. Unintentional comedy. Few films fail so spectacularly in so many ways at once, creating a perfect storm of entertainment value completely unintended by the creators. The verdict: sentenced to eternal life in bad movie infamy. Mortal Kombat: Annihilation stands convicted on all charges of cinematic crimes, yet its very awfulness ensures its immortality. Unlike good but forgettable films, this spectacular disaster will be remembered and rewatched for generations. This movie didn't just finish cinema, it performed a fatality on it. Tag a friend who needs to experience this legendary disaster, or share if you've survived a viewing without rage quitting.